Ain't no nigga go treat Duck like he know nigga. Whoever wants smoke on Tuka, this free. Oblock can tell y'all the real truth, man. They ain't up on no score this way, man. We St. Lawrence, man. Dirty mixing brick name. No, he didn't.
Welcome to Boys in the Hood TV. Today we're tapping into the streets of Chicago, and we're gonna be talking about Chicago GD, FBG Duck, who would lose his life in a hell of gunfire. Carlton Weekly, aka FBG Duck, was raised on the low end in the Ida B. Wells projects on 39th Street, along with his older brother, FBG Britt. Now, Carlton's mother had a favorite movie called The Five Heartbeats, and one of her favorite characters in the movie were two brothers named JT, and the other name was Duck.
One of my favorite movies is The Five Heartbeats. And you know, Duck and JT, they was the shit. I say, I'm gonna nickname this baby Duck. His lips was like this. He looked like a duck.
Now, Duck's father was not in his life. He was serving a 27-year sentence for murder, so he was not around when Duck was born. And like most kids that grew up in the hood, Duck was raised in a single-parent household without a father figure. His mother was addicted to crack, so I left Duck and his brother to be running the streets. Now, as a kid, Duck was known for going around starting fights, or in his own words, he was just a badass kid in the hood. Now, on October 13, 2005, things would take a turn for the worse for Duck. His 25-year-old cousin, Walter Armstrong, was gunned down by Chicago PD after they claimed he refused to drop his gun in an apparent drug bust operation. Armstrong was shot twice in his chest as he died at the scene. Duck's family would immediately protest this and call it a wrongful death. But authorities would justify the shooting, stating that Armstrong did pose a threat to the officers. Now, the death of his cousin would only send Duck down a darker path to getting involved into the streets. Now, that same year, young Duck would be arrested for the first time. And as the years went on, he would continue to face different arrests. Now, as the years went on, the Ida B projects will be completely demolished by 2011. So with this happening, Duck and his family would then have to move into the Woodland neighborhood to the 6300 block of St. Lawrence Street. Now, this section was run by the GDs who were at war with the nearby BDs, like Wick City, which was soon to be called Oblock, the Young Money Boys, aka TYMB, and other rival BD sets. Now, this same year, Duck would eventually become friends with the 15-year-old Shondell Gregory, also known as Tuka. Now, the two become real tight-knit best friends and was always seen kicking it together nearly every day. But once again, for Duck, things would take a turn for the worse. On January 12, 2011, at around 6:40 p.m., Duck's best friend, Tuka, would be standing at a bus stop on the 500 block of 63rd. A man walked up and asked everybody at the bus stop, was there another bus coming? That man then would walk behind the bus shelter and open fire. Tuka was hit once in the back as he stumbled near a trash can, and as he fell to the ground, the gunman stood over him and shot him 3 more times in the back, killing him. Now, Duck at the time had just finished playing basketball at the gym, and he was told by somebody who came running up. So immediately, Duck ran all the way from 62nd to 63rd, and that's where he would see his best friend Tuka lying dead on the pavement. Now, just like the murder of his cousin back in 2005, the murder of his best friend Tuka would deeply hurt him, but this time, this would send him spiraling deep into this gang life. Now, the murder of Tuka is believed to be done by members of Wick City and TYMB. Now, the exact shooters is up for debate, but no one has ever been charged for the murder of Tuka. Now, 63rd would go on to memorialize Tuka by naming the area Tukaville. Duck would eventually start rapping, and they would start going by Flyboy Gang, aka FBG.
Flyboy Gang, you feel me, man? STLEBT Tukaville, man, you feel me, man?
Same.
Now, when it came to Duck rapping, he wasn't just rapping about his street life. He was taking direct shots at his ops. Now, disses like this from Duck would lead to back and forth on records as the violence only increased in the streets. And at this time in 2011, a rival BD named Chief Keef was buzzing in the streets of Chicago, and he was taking shots at Duck's best friend, Tuka, in multiple different songs.
Middle fingers to Shondell. Chief Keef, fuck Tuka gang bang. I let this Ruger bang.
Oh, that's real disrespectful. Tuka like a brother to me. So I'm gonna show him how to really do it. I'm gonna diss him off his own song. I made a song called 300, dissing him and Soulja Boy.
But unlike others, Duck just wasn't about trigger play. Just like when he was a kid, Duck was known for being a squabbler. But eventually, Duck would find himself in a near-death situation in 2012 when his at-the-time girlfriend, Corey, from Jarrow City, stabbed him in the stomach. According to Duck, what led to it was he put hands on her, and that's when she pulled out the knife. Eventually, Corey was arrested for stabbing Duck, but Duck refused to press charges against her. Now, the following year, Duck would eventually find himself on the opposite side of a barrel, being shot at 2 different times that exact year.
First time I got shot, I was with a little bitch, shit. I was just coming out the crib on my mama. As soon as I get in the car, little bitch hit the corner, spot me on the phone, shot the car up and shit. Second time I got shot, shit.
We was on our way to, it was Lil J's birthday in the liquor store. So I'm looking like, bro, I know this nigga. As he leave out, find out he was one of the ops. We get on the expressway. They follow us on the expressway, ride right past my car, ride past another car, and shoot up Duck car and only hit him one time in the foot.
I went to the hospital, they wrapped my leg up, shit. I went to Lil J party, shit. I wasn't even worried. In the ankle, and in the calf, and the same leg in my left leg.
Now, the violence at the time in Chicago was at an all-time high, making national news, while also making a splash in the music scene with drill music. Now, at the time, Duck's rival were the face of Chicago, rappers like Chief Keef and Lil Durk. As Chief Keef's success continued to grow, so did his disrespect for Duck's best friend, Tuka.
Tuka hitting hard like die. Smoking Tuka like a hookah. Take a Tuka blunt, then I burned it.
To a point where you had other rappers and other individuals that were not even from Chicago claiming that they were smoking on
Gangster
Tuka.
Going, a whole lot of Tuka smoking, man. They don't want you to smoke this Tuka back. They don't want you to have big 30s in your ears.
Now, while in the streets, Duck will have many various run-ins with the law, but he would never serve any serious time. And with all this happening, Duck continued to chase his dreams of being a rapper. And slowly but surely, Duck's career started to gain more and more attraction. And in September 2013, Duck would drop one of his biggest records at the time.
If a nigga play with my money, he could get shot right down.
On March 13, 2014, Duck would suffer another major loss. This time it will be his 3-year-old sister, Leandria.
Rob Stafford, NBC5's Lauren Jiggets joins us from Rogers Park now with the latest on this tragic fire. Lauren?
Dick, I just spoke with a close friend of the family. She tells me the victim, a 3-year-old girl, set a mattress on fire inside her mother's apartment building, and that ignited the blaze.
Even after this tragic loss of his little sister, Duck would keep her in his memory and continue pushing on. The following month, Duck would trade words with Oblock's King Von on Twitter. Duck would claim that Von got saved by Killer Ward from getting his ass whooped. Now, Duck and Von, already on the opposite ends from different hoods, would develop a personal rivalry against each other, going back and forth on Twitter, trolling each other, and even on rap songs. Now, this rivalry will continue on through the following years. Now, 3 years later, Duck would face another tragic loss. On July 20th, 2017, Duck's older brother, Jermaine Robinson, aka FBG Brick, along with his cousin, Stanley Mack, were on 63rd, when Machiavel Sampson, aka McAdoo from 600, and another shooter rolled up. McAdoo would hop out the car and shoot Stanley multiple times in the head. After shooting Stanley, McAdoo chased after Brick, who ran and jumped over a gate, and would be shot multiple times in his back and was shot in the head, never making it over the gate. Now, the second shooter in this situation is allegedly between Cap from 600 and HK from Oblock. Now, after these shots rang out, police and EMTs would arrive on scene to find FBG Brick along with Stanley Mack, both dead from the gunshot wounds. Not long after, Duck, along with his mother, would arrive on scene to find his brother and his cousin's body covered with white sheets. Now, immediately afterwards, Duck would take to Instagram, sending a stern, chilling warning to anybody who dared mention his brother Brick's name.
If you mention Brick or Kobe, you gonna die. That's straight like that.
Now, the body count in Chicago continued to stack up along with diss songs. Now, after losing his brother, Duck would find a way to fight through that pain and continue to release music. And the following year, in 2018, he would release his biggest record to date, called Slide.
Party you cannot get in, busting out the mid.
Now, the success of this song would generate a lot of attention, and this would help his group, Clout Boys, going to sign a multi-million-dollar deal with Sony. Eventually, Duck would become the face and voice of 63rd. And around this time, Duck would also talk about breaking his lean addiction. And with all his newfound success, Duck still lived in Chicago. But Duck also started to see the bigger picture, that it was more than just about the streets.
Still got a whole head. It ain't about us at this moment. Right now, it's about the culture. It's about the kids. It's about the older people who gotta walk the streets and worry about if they gotta get hit by a bullet. In order for this shit to be over with, they gotta start with us first.
And in 2019, Duck did the unthinkable and dropped a song called Chicago Legends, where he honored all his homies along with his ops.
Stand up nigga, he fed his people. Hell no, I ain't talking pizza.
Now, Chicago Legends would gain success, and to this date, it has 18 million views. But the love extended by Duck was not exactly well received on both ends. Now, some respected what he did.
When he made the Chicago Drill Legends thing, bro, I had saluted him. That was something nobody had done.
Where others didn't.
B-Roy wasn't never moved by none of that positive shit, bro.
But for the most part, Duck's attempts to at least stop some of the blood violence amongst the youth would fall on deaf ears. Now, Duck feeling like they taking his kindness for weakness, this would lead to Duck making a deadly decision. In July 2020, Duck would drop one of the most disrespectful diss songs ever, called Dead Bitches.
But nigga, fuck T-Roy and OD them dead bitches.
Now, in this record, Duck would do something sort of a roll call where he disrespected every dead enemy in the exact manner in which they died. Now, at this point, Duck is already hated by his ops. He's already a target, but this song would make him their #1 priority. And rumors started to spread around that one of his favorite ops, King Von, allegedly put a $100K bounty on his head.
No, I'm against you. What?
And sadly, only weeks later, his enemies would get the drop on him. On August 4th, 2020, FBG Duck, along with his girlfriend and homie Day Day, was in the Gold Coast area shopping. Now, what Duck didn't know was that one of his enemies was in the same area at another store. That was THF Teezy, who was secretly watching Duck's every move. Now, THF Teezy not only had issues with Duck, not only because they were from different hoods, but Duck was an op that was also sleeping with his baby moms. So for Teezy, this was personal. Teezy would then make a phone call claiming that Duck and other members from 63rd had caught him slipping and they were chasing him outside the store.
Hey, y'all, hey, bro, they tried to kill me. Bro, they just tried to kill me, bro. Down, up here, bro, by Gold Coast, this nigga Duck just tried to kill me. He ran up on me with a whole bunch of niggas, fo. He jumped out the car, him and a bunch of niggas, they seen me and bros walking, you feel me? And when they seen us walking, they jumped out the car. He had a 30 stick, a see-through clip on that. He pointed that my way, you feel what I'm saying, and my homie way. So we started running, so we started chasing after us. So, you know, we was running so fast, we got away and we just heard him say, hey man, let's go shop for our stuff, you feel what I'm saying, and we'll get spent back on them bitch ass niggas later because they got to get back to the car. I just had them lock us inside the store. I just asked the security guard if we could stay inside the store, you feel what I'm saying.
And in return, 6 shooters from Oblock, known as the Get Back Gang, would make their way to the Gold Coast area. Now, as Duck stood outside the front of the store, 2 vehicles pulled up, and the Oblock members hopped out and started blitzing. Duck was shot over 16 times by multiple shooters as he attempted to flee before falling to the ground between 2 cars. His homie Day Day was also wounded by gunfire in his back and in his side. Now, this was done in broad daylight with multiple witnesses, so the cops arrived immediately. And as they arrived on scene, they found Duck along with Day Day on the ground, still clinging to life. Both Day Day and Duck will be transported to the hospital, and sadly, 26-year-old Carlton Weekly, aka FBG Duck, will be pronounced dead.
Cheryl, tonight, friends say it was a Chicago rapper who was gunned down here on one of Chicago's ritziest streets. They say 2 other people were also shot when 4 gunmen, witnesses say, jumped out of cars and fired from just a few feet away.
2 men, they say, were standing on the sidewalk near the Dolce & Gabbana store, just a few steps from Michigan Avenue. Friends say one of those bullets killed the polarizing Chicago rapper known as FBG Duck.
Now, Day Day will be in a coma, and will require multiple surgeries, but eventually he pulled through. Now, the saddest part about Duck's death is, only 2 days after he was killed, his father, who was wrongfully convicted at the age of 17, was finally released from prison, and his father's first time seeing his son in person will be in a coffin. Now, eventually, all 6 shooters from Oblock will be identified and arrested, and all 6 would be found guilty of the murder of FBG Duck. I would like to thank everybody for tapping in, and I'll see y'all next time.